All right, Gianna, you ready? Okay, so tell me what you're writing about here. What do you got? What have you been working on?
So, I've been working on tell the people that they should like science and why they should like science, and I gave, I think, reasons of why they should like science.
Good. So you're talking about you're trying to persuade people who maybe don't like science and persuading them that they should like science, and then you give some reasons for why they should like science, right? Okay, good. So I agree because that's what I got out of it when I read it. So I read it last night, and I read it a little bit this morning. And what I really like about your essay so far is I like that you kind of started out with something a little bit fun. You're like, have you ever heard someone say that science is boring? Well, I'm here to tell you it's not. And so it's kind of like catches the reader's attention really quickly because that's something I think a lot of people can relate to. And then you put like a little bit of your personality into it by saying, well, I'm here to tell you that it's not. And then you go into your reasons. And then at the end, I like how you close it. And so you say, so those people who don't like science, you better think twice. So you put like a little bit more of that like sassy personality into it, which I really liked a lot. So yeah, I think one thing that I noticed is I think you have some good reasons, but what I think would really help make your persuasion, your essay better, make it stronger, is kind of explaining how those reasons relate back to the topic. Why are those reasons important? So you have the reasons, but I think what's missing is maybe the explanation of why those reasons are important. So like, I remember yesterday we were talking about like if we wrote an essay on who's better, cats or dogs, right? So if I said cats are better because they clean themselves, that's a reason. But then if I then went into an explanation, I've said, because they clean themselves a lot, cats are also cleaner, so they're not going to get your house dirty. They're not going to track mud. They're not going to do that thing. That's an explanation of why that reason makes sense.
Oh.
So anytime you're doing something persuasive, anytime you're giving like reasons behind something, you want to explain why they're important, why they're kind of pertinent to why they relate to your argument. Does that make sense? Okay, so we've got our colored highlighters here. So what we're going to do is we're going to go through here and we're going to highlight all the reasons that we have in purple. So these are our reasons or positions. So, excuse me, reasons or points. So like you make a point to say like, this one point, this is a reason why you should like science. This next point, this is a reason you should like science. So they're reasons or points. And then I want you to, we're going to go through and highlight what explanations you already have in there. And we're going to see where we can put some more explanations in there. And then we have over here this graphic organizer that has, let me just show it over here. That has, so you're going to write the point. So you're going to write, so one of your points was about how science increases your science vocabulary. So you're going to put science vocabulary as your point, and then you're going to explain why that's important. Why should that persuade someone to like science? Does that make sense? Why is that showing people that science is important? That's where you're going to write the explanation. And then I've got 4 points, and then you can go back, and then you've already got it written out. So then you can just say, here's the point, this is why it's important as you go through. Does that make sense? Okay, so first, let's just go through, and let's do reasons first. So read through it, and I want you to highlight where you think there are reasons. Okay. So the reasons that people should like science, why science is important. Good. I absolutely agree. Okay, and then go back through with yellow and see if there's any. So your first one that you did was it helps you learn new science vocabulary. Do you give an explanation of why that vocabulary is important? And then see if you find any, okay?
Okay. I think that's it.
All right, So, what do you see more of, purple or yellow? How many times which one did you highlight more?
Purple.
Purple, right? So we've got we have more reasons than explanation. But that's okay, because you can come up with explanations for these reasons, because I think the explanations are in your head, right? I just think that you are like, yeah, that makes sense to me, but you need to make sure that in any time that you're persuading someone, you need to like walk them through what's happening in your head, right? Because they can't read your mind. So you in your head are like, you need new vocabulary. That's important for reason 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Like, you need the science vocabulary is important, but you need to make sure that you tell the reader so that they know. Does that make sense? So that they follow and you're like, oh, that makes sense. That's super important. Now I'm persuaded. Okay? Does that make sense? So that's for any time that you do that. So we're going to go through here, and we are going to put our points, and then we're going to come up with some explanations together. Sound good?
Mm-hmm.
Great.